You've got to get up pretty early in the morning to speak to America's hardworking farmers and food producers. We should know. FLM Harvest is a strategic, full-service creative consultancy proud to reach more farmers, farmer boards, and food and commodity associations than any agency in the country. And we understand omni-channel as well as we understand the journey from field to fork. Most importantly, we connect clients to the audiences that matter to them.
Joined today by Cindy HydeSmith. She's Senator for Mississippi on Meet the Lawmaker today. And Senator HydeSmith, you're a freshman senator here. First of all, how does it feel to be in Washington, D.C.?
Pretty incredible, I assure you. We've had an unusual past year. Of course, I didn't have anything to compare it to because I am so new. But you know, it is such an honor to serve. It really is. And to get to meet the colleagues that you've read about and then to get to know them personally, it's been very eventful, but refreshing, but very satisfying.
Tell me about some of the agriculture in your district. You served as the state ag commissioner for a few years, obviously well versed there, but just tell me about some of that.
Well, you know, agriculture is the #1 industry in Mississippi. 1 in 4 jobs are related to agriculture there, and about almost 30% of our workforce is related to agriculture. It's very diverse. You know, we have timber, poultry, cotton, we grow crops, we cattle. A lot of poultry in Mississippi. When you fly over our state, you'll notice all the poultry houses, but very diverse.
You also are on a few committees, especially the Ag Committee being one, but tell me about some of those other committees you're on as well.
Well, I'm on the Rules Committee, I'm on the Energy Committee, and have a lot of subcommittees under that. Of course, appropriations is really important. And for Legislative Affairs, I'm the chairman of that. For Livestock Marketing and Ag Security, I'm the subcommittee chairman for that. So we stay pretty busy just on the Appropriations Committee alone. But the Energy Committee is new to me, really enjoying serving on that. So many things that relate to Mississippi, you know, I've luckily got placed on those committees.
What are some goals, ag policy goals you have as senator?
You know, I guess living through waters of the U.S., rolling back regulations and getting agencies to work together. But the burdensome regulations have just been terrific in the years past.
Sorry to interrupt, how have those impacted Mississippi producers and farmers?
Well, with waters of the U.S. alone, you know, we're treating creek water or water in a ditch the same as the Mississippi River. And it just wasn't logical, it wasn't sensible. And so to have some reasonable, logical regulations in place that are needed, you know, no one's opposed to that, but having a lot of those that just create a burden on the farmer that serve basically no purpose, that was just a nightmare as a commissioner of agriculture. So we have seen a new day there, and that is one of my goals, to make sure that we can do what we do very well, and that is production, agriculture production there in Mississippi, but to do it in a way that is safe, that is abundant, that is productive, and the bottom line is profitability, so that you can go out there and you can invest in a crop or you can invest in livestock and have the ability to produce that in a way that will be financially beneficial for everyone, but most importantly to feed this country.
How has being Commissioner of Ag for the state helped you kind of prepare for this job?
Well, you know, I think actually being a state senator for 3 terms has really given me the experience that has proven to serve me very well here. I was in the state legislature and I was chairman of agriculture for 2 of those terms. So all the combination together, of course, being the agriculture chairman, you know, I did run the largest industry in the state and that department. So that really, you know, looking back on the things that I draw from now, you know, with budgets, with everything it takes for human resources to run an agency, combined, it's really served me well. The policy end of being a state legislator has really made this job a little easier than it probably would have been.
You're new to Capitol Hill, as we mentioned before. who is Senator Cindy HydeSmith?
Who is Senator Cindy HydeSmith? You know, I think that I'm just one of those people that I'm a fixer, I'm a doer, and I'm a worker, and I want to make life better for all Mississippians. I want to create an environment that our economy's strong, because when the economy's strong, everybody benefits from that. So, you know, I love doing the policy work. I love doing, you know, if it's heavy lifting, that is not a problem. The challenges are very rewarding. But, you know, then there's that time on the weekend, or, you know, sometimes when you do have a few minutes, that I like to get on that dirt bike. And I love my dirt bike. And of course, you know, whether it's running the cows off the ryegrass or just out enjoying being outside, having that helmet on, and nobody knows you when you have on a helmet and sunglasses. And it's street legal. So my little small town of Brookhaven, which is so wonderful, our theme is Home Seekers Paradise, and it really is. So to have the small town atmosphere, to have the opportunity to live on a farm, you know, I am living a very good life, but I don't take that for granted at all. It is all God-given.
And also, it must be quite an accomplishment to be the first woman senator from Mississippi, I'm assuming, too.
It is. It really is. I didn't think about that a lot at first, but the more I traveled around the state after I became the senator, and I talked to young women, I talked to young men that was raising little girls that would say, I've got 3 daughters, and, you know, they're very young, but, you know, they said, I'm so proud that Mississippi has a woman in the U.S. Senate, and you are a role model for them to look up to. So I really didn't think about it until I started talking to the people out there that they had a different opinion of that, and they shared it with me, but it was all positive.
As far as role models here in the Senate, do you have any?
Well, you know, everybody has a different personality, and it has been so fun to get to really know these people. And I've always said, when you serve in a body such as this, that bond is hard to describe. Some of my best friends in life are those that I served in the state legislature with when we were on that Senate floor. And the relationships we're building now are so special. You know, you have the ones that are just such deep thinkers, and, you know, they're just, you like to be around them. And then you have the ones that can lift the spirits, and, you know, they're really conscious of the bond and building relationships. And when you build those relationships, it sure is easier to work on projects, to work on policy, and to ultimately just the respect of each other.
So you mentioned riding the dirt bike. How often do you do that when you get back?
Well, right now it has a flat. I'm really
upset
no,
that's not good.
that I haven't gotten that repaired yet, but it hadn't been long. But usually, at least if it's not every weekend, every other weekend.
And as far as anything else you'd like to do outside of Congress, I'm assuming go back to the farm quite often if you can?
Oh yes, I'm a homebody. You know, I tell everybody I live in Brookhaven, Mississippi. I do not live in Washington, D.C. I work here, and I'm here a lot of the time, but that is home. And family means so much to me. You know, that's just God, family, and then this place is the order and the priority that I set that in. So I feel like I really am the most blessed woman in the world, because God has just really, really opened doors for me. A lot of anxiety in accepting the appointment from the governor, because I did not contemplate running. I did not say, okay, family, we're going to sit down and we're going to make this decision and Mom's going to run for the U.S. Senate. I was approached by the governor, and he said, I want to appoint you. I think that you are exactly the right person for this job for Mississippi. And I was so taken back. So to be kind of airdropped in, we've learned to get our sea legs, and I had such great staff to guide me. I really did. And once you step out on faith, and I accepted the appointment, you know, it's like God was on the other side saying, see, I told you it's going to be okay. Now, it hasn't been easy, the adjustment, and then we go through the Kavanaugh fight and, you know, the border wall issues. It hasn't been easy, but it's been something that I've looked forward to every day to tackle. Because, you know, you just have to step up, you have to stand tall, but you do have to do what's right just because it's right. And for some reason, God gave me a pretty strong backbone and some pretty thick skin. And it takes it around this place, but what a joy and what an honor.
Senator, thanks for your time today.
Thank you.